Adrian, and welcome to Kiwi's Crochet Corner. If you are new to my channel, I usually do yarn and crochet content. Occasionally I'll talk a little bit about knit. Still haven't finished or still haven't figured out how to do that yet, but I'm working on it. And if you're not new to my channel and you've been watching for a while, thanks for coming in. Thanks for, keeping up with my channel. I really do appreciate it.
Hey guys, so today I am going to be showing you guys how to make the Meteorite's Delight Messy Bun Beanie. If you're curious about the name, I actually got the name for this pattern from the color of the yarn. This is Yarn Bee Authentic Hand Dyed in the color Meteorite's Delight. I hope y'all can see that. Here's the back. It is a lightweight one yarn. And I wanted to try making a hat from a lightweight one because most of the patterns that you see are for much thicker yarns as far as patterns for hats go. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done a tutorial, so I am playing a little bit around with this camera. So this is what it looks like, and it's got a hole in the top for your ponytail or whatever. The yarn that I use is 100% superwash merino wool. But you can use any weight one yarn that you want, I suppose. I mean, I can't imagine that it would make too much of a difference. You're also going to need an elastic hair tie. I picked these up at, I think, Walmart for like $3. It doesn't really matter what color of elastic you use because you're not going to be able to see the hair tie itself anyways. It's just for some elasticity. And then I'm using a 3.5 millimeter hook, which it's worn off. I'm gonna have to maybe look at getting some new ones because I'm not gonna remember. Yeah, eventually I'll forget that the green one is 3.5 millimeter. And I'm going to use the rest of the hank that I used to make the first one. Now this pattern is already available in my Etsy shop if anybody is interested in getting a printable version. So yeah, you guys can check out my Etsy shop for the printable version of this pattern. So we're going to go ahead and put our slip knot in there, get it on our hook. So for round one, you're going to put, you're going to be putting 50 single crochet around this elastic band. Move this tail out of the way. Hopefully I'm staying in frame. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done a tutorial. Get up here. So you're going to slip stitch to attach your yarn. And there's a hair attached to my yarn. It's one of mine. And we're going to work over our tail. So we're going to slip stitch to join your yarn and then chain one. And then from there, you're just going to go ahead and put 50 single crochets. This yarn is kind of slippery into the elastic hair tie. And it will take a little while because, you know, since it's such a fine yarn, it requires more stitches to get the same size. And this can be very finicky as well. I'm hoping you guys are able to see what I'm doing, because yeah, like I said, it's been a while since I've done a tutorial, and I've been promising this one for a while, so I figured I really need to sit down and get it done. So it's going to start to look like this. And I will meet back up with you guys once I have all 50 and I'm back at the beginning of the round. Alright, so I'm back and I've got my 50 single crochet around my elastic. Now you can see that there's a big space here because I was pushing the stitches down as I went. And these are easily spread out. You just kind of spread them out as evenly as you can. Like I said, you're not going to really be able to see the elastic hair tie. You know, they'll just like that. You know, they'll shift and move around as the hat's worn. And I do have still a little bit of a tail right here, but that's okay. And so that's what it will look like after round one. And we are going to slip stitch into this first stitch here. If I can get underneath those bars there. I'm going to go get one of my wooden hooks. I'll be back. Okay, so my wooden hooks have a little bit of a sharper point. So hopefully I can get in underneath those bars with this one. You know, this won't wear away. Sorry if I'm coming out of frame, guys. I have a habit of doing that in my tutorials. I'm sorry. What is going on? There we go. Did I get it? Come on. There we go. And you're just going to slip stitch. So that's the first round. So for round 2, we're going to start doing our puff stitches. So you're going to chain up 2, and you're going to put a puff stitch in this same stitch here. So yarn over, insert your hook, and draw up a loop. Yarn over, insert your hook, draw up a loop, and then yarn over, insert your hook, there should be 7 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 loops on the hook. And you're going to yarn over and you're going to draw through all 7 loops. Which I will say with this particular yarn it was making the first hat a little bit difficult because this yarn seems very splitty, or was very splitty, and it's quite splitty now. But anyways, you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to skip a stitch. So we're going to skip this one right here, and we're going to put another puff stitch into the next stitch. So skip that one. That's 3 loops, 4 loops, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, that's 7. And then you're going to draw through all 7 loops on your hook. And then chain 1. And you're going to do your puff stitches just like that all the way around. Once you do your puff stitch, you're going to chain 1 and skip 1. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 loops on the hook. And then we're going to draw through all 7 loops and chain 1. And you're going to do that all the way around. And I will meet back up with you guys when I get to the end of this round. Okay, so I'm finished with round 2. This is what it looks like. And at the end of round 2, you should have 25 puff stitches. So we're going to slip stitch into the top of the first puff stitch. So that is going to be your chain 1. And we're going to slip stitch right here into this little stitch right here. Excuse me, we're going to chain 1 first because I haven't chained 1. So chain 1 and then slip stitch into that first puff stitch. So at the end of round 2, you should have 25 puff stitches as well as 25 chain 1 spaces. And Kiwi's going to come over here and try to join us for this tutorial. So for round 4 in the back loop only, so chain 2 and place 2 double crochet into the back loop of that same stitch. So I hope you guys can see this right in there. And you're going to put 2 double crochets into that back loop. I think I said that already. But yeah, it's 2 double crochets into the back loop of the same stitch that you slip stitched into. Just like that. What are you doing on my tutorial arm, sir? So for the rest of the round, you're going to be working in the back loop of every stitch. And you're going to be putting 1 double crochet in the next stitch, in the back loop of the next stitch, and then you're going to be putting 2 double crochet into the back loop of the next stitch. So super easy, not much to it, and you're going to do that repetition all the way around. And you should end with 1 double crochet in the last stitch, for a total of 75 double crochets in round 3. So I will meet back up with you as soon as I get to the end of round 3, and then we'll move on to round 4. Alright, so I've just finished round 3, and this is what it's starting to look like. Hopefully I can stay in frame just a little bit better. So we're going to slip stitch into this first double crochet here to end round 3, and then to start round 4 we're gonna chain up 2, and we're gonna put 2 double crochet in the back loop of the same stitch that you slipped stitched into. Now for the whole of this round you're going to be working in the back loop, and so you're going to put 1 double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're creating a little bit of a ridge here. That's what we're going for. In the next stitch you're going to put 2 double crochet, and then in the next 4 stitches you're going to put 1 double crochet, and you're going to repeat that sequence all the way around until you get to the end of the row or the round. 2, 3, and 4. Now when you get to the end of the row or the round, you should have 88 stitches in total, and I will meet back up with you guys as soon as I get back to the beginning of this round. Alright, so I just finished round 4, and as you can see it is a little bit wavy, but as we continue to work it will flatten out. So like I said, at the end of this round you should have 88 stitches. So we're going to slip stitch into this first double crochet to join the round, and for round 5 we're going to go back to doing puff stitches. So we're going to chain up 2 and put a puff stitch in that same stitch. and then you're going to chain 1. You're going to skip this next stitch here and put another puff stitch in the next stitch. And you're going to repeat that sequence all the way around. At the end of round 5, you should have a total of 44 puff stitches as well as 44 chain 1 spaces. And I will meet back up with you guys as soon as I get to the end of round 5. Uh-oh. There we go. Like I said, this yarn is a little bit splitty. Anyways, I'll meet back up with you guys when I get to the end of this round. Alright, so this is the end of round 5. And again, we're going to chain 1 and slip stitch into the top of that very first puff stitch to close the round. For round 6, we're going to chain up 2, and we're going to go back to working in the back loop only. And you're going to put 1 double crochet in the back of the next 10 stitches, starting with the same stitch that you slip stitched into. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. In the next stitch, you're going to put 2 double crochet. So 1 and 2, and we're making more of these little ridges right here. So that's the sequence that you're going to repeat all the way around, is 10 double crochets in the back loop, and then a double crochet increase in the back loop of the 11th stitch. And I will meet back up with you guys here in a bit. Alright, so I've reached the end of round 6. I'm sorry about my dogs. Anyways, so to join the end of round 6, we're just going to slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet. And we're going to chain 2. Next, we are going to put 1 double crochet in the back loop of the same stitch that we joined into. So that makes 1 double crochet, and we're going to put 10 more double crochets in the back loop for a total of 11. So that's going to be 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And so you can see it's making this ridge just like this row. So we've got 11 double crochets in the next stitch, still working in the back loop. We're going to work in the back loop this entire round. In the next stitch, we're going to do a double crochet increase. So we're going to put 2 double crochets into the back loop of the next stitch. So that's 1 and then 2. So this is what it's starting to look like, and this is going to be your sequence all the way around. 11 double crochets in the back loop, and then 1 double crochet increase in the next stitch. So I'm going to let you guys go until I get all the way around to the end of this round, and I will meet back up with you. Okay, so I've reached the end of round 7. So what we're going to do here is we're going to join the round by slip stitching into that first double crochet. Okay, and we're going to chain up 2. For row 8, we're going to put a puff stitch right here in this first stitch. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we got 1 too many loops on there. 2 too many loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on. So we've got the first loop. Now, in case I didn't explain how to do a puff stitch at the beginning of this tutorial, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, and drop a loop. That gives you 3. And then you're going to yarn over, insert your hook, drop a loop. That gives you 5. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop. That should give you 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then you're going to yarn over and draw through all of these loops, all 7 of them. You're going to chain 1, and then we're going to skip this next stitch and puff stitch into the next one. So 3, if I can do this with the split yarn, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we are working through both loops this time. And then we're going to chain 1 and do another puff stitch. So that's your sequence all the way around, is puff stitch, chain 1, skip 1. Puff stitch, chain 1, skip 1. And you're going to do that all the way around for row 8. And I will meet back up with you guys when I get to the end of round 8. Alright, so I'm at the end of row 8, and you can see it's starting to curl up. That is because we are starting to do the length of our beanie. So I have finished round 8, and I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of this first puff stitch, to join round 8. Now for rows 9 and 10, you're going to chain up 2, and you're just going to put 1 double crochet in the back loop of each stitch, starting with that very first stitch that we slip stitched in. And so rows 9 and 10 are going to be exactly the same, and you're just going to put 1 double crochet into every stitch in the back loop only, so that we can create that ridge. And as you work, you'll notice that, you know, this curling is going to happen. Eventually, when we flip it, it'll flip outside, it'll right side out, and then it won't look quite as strange, because right now all of the outside stitches are sort of on the inside with it starting to curl. So I'm going to go ahead and do rows 9 and 10, and then I will meet back up with you guys as soon as I'm finished with round 10. Like I said, they're the same, just 1 double crochet in the back loop of every stitch. Just like that. Okay, so here I've finished row 10, and I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of that first double crochet to join the round. You can see, let's see if I can turn it right side out for you. So that's what it's starting to look like. So round 11 is just a repeat of round 8. So we're going to puff stitch into this first. Well, first we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to puff stitch in this first stitch here. So 3, 5, and 7. When you have 7 loops, you're going to yarn over and draw through all 7 of those loops to make your puff stitch. You're going to chain 1, skip this stitch, and puff stitch into the next. 3, 4, no, excuse me, that would be 5, 7. Sometimes it can be a little difficult to draw through all 7 of them at one time, but we'll make it work. So that's going to be the sequence all the way around for round 11 is puff stitch, chain 1, skip 1. Puff stitch, chain 1, skip 1. And I will meet back up with you guys when I get finished with row 11. Okay, so I've come to the end of round 11, so I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the puff stitch, the first puff stitch of this round, And if, in case you are wondering, there should be 52 puff stitches in this round, as well as the last puff stitch round, which was round 8. So rows 12 through 20 are actually repeats of 9 through 11. So what you're going to do is you're just going to repeat rows 9 through 11 3 more times. And that should give you 20 rows. So the last time that you repeat row 11, that will actually be round 20, if that makes any sense. So it's going to start off by chaining up 2 and working in the back loop only. We're going to put a double crochet in the same stitch. And we're going to work 1 double crochet all the way around, working in back loops only. Like I said, this is just a repeat of rows 9 through 11, and you're going to repeat them a total of 3 times. I will put timestamps in the description box so that if you need to skip back to find out what rows 9 through 11 are, I'll go ahead and do that. But I will meet back up with you once I get to the end of round 20. Okay, guys, so it's been quite a while since I have worked on this video tutorial. And I know that you can probably hear a little bit of a difference in the audio. That is because I am using a different camera. And, you know, my camera situation has changed a little bit. But I am at the end of round 20. So for rounds 21 and 22, you're going to repeat rows 9 and 10. And again, I will add some timestamps. If you're wondering, this is what it's starting to look like. That's what it looks like. I know that, like I said, the lighting is a little bit off compared to the other portions of the video. That's because of the camera situation. So for rows 21 and 22, you are just going to be repeating rows 9 and 10. So we're going to chain up 3. And then we're gonna double crochet in the back loops of each stitch around. And I will meet back up with you guys when I get finished with rows 21 and 22. We are almost done with this video tutorial, guys. And then the style of my video tutorials is probably going to change up a little bit. This one has taken me longer than what I anticipated. So yeah, I will meet back with you guys here shortly. Okay, so I have finished rows 21 and 22. And this is what it's looking like. I'll turn the LED light on. That kind of blows out the colors. So this is what it's looking like with this being the top. And I have already slip stitched to join round 22. Now for the last 5 rows, really super simple. I'm going to bring this camera down a little bit so you guys can see. The last 5 rows are just single crochet, so super easy. I'm just gonna chain up 1
and single crochet into the same stitch, and you're going to single crochet into every stitch all the way around for 5 rounds, which is rows 23 through 27. And then at that point, your Meteorite Delight Messy Bun Beanie will be finished, so you'll just fasten off and weave in your tails. I'll meet back up with you guys to show you what mine looks like after I've completed round 27. Alright guys, so here is the finished project. For me, I had to pull it down and then roll it up just a little bit, just a smidgen, but it covers up my frizzy hair, and in the wintertime or even the fall, it's going to keep my ears warm, and my bun can stick out the top. For those of you that are interested in knowing, I was able to make 2 of these hats out of the hank of yarn. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, I guess I will see you guys in my next video. Hopefully I can start getting some more tutorial videos out for you guys. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.